Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. My name is Sifu Bryan. I'm a Northern Prairie Mantis Kung Fu teacher with 30 years experience. It is 23rd of August 2020. Welcome. Let's get straight to my quote. So, they who can give up essential liberty to attain a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. Benjamin Franklin. Fantastic quote, a fantastic quote. Love it. Um, I could definitely relate to this, to what's happening to us in the UK and around the world, that we are freely giving up our liberties to the government and our freedom to the government. And the government has generated so much power now. They can tell us what to do, where to go on holiday, where not to go on holiday. And personally, I think that's too much power. They've got to remember they've been elected by us, not the other way around. They're supposed to do our bidding. So I feel we've got to remind these governments they're working for us. And are they working in our interests, or the one percenters and the billionaires of this world, you know? Or the deep state? Who are they working for? Because it doesn't look like they're working for us at this moment. There's so much illusions that's been put out there, so many myths and so forth. We as martial artists, we are masters of illusions when we're fighting, because we will show you one move from here, but the real attack is coming from here, and it's a deadly attack. And I feel with what's going on, there's a lot of illusions, a lot of smoke screens, and we've got to go out there and do the research. We've got to do our own research and get down to the truth, because all we want really is the truth. But hey, if you've not been to my YouTube channel before, you don't forget to like, share, comment, and of course subscribe if you're new around here. But once again, with this quote, they who can give up essential liberty to obtain a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. Benjamin Franklin. And to top up with this this thing of what's going on, like I said, we've given up our liberties and our freedoms a little too easily, and I'm very surprised, especially in the UK, very surprised. But a document that came out from Sage in March the 22nd of 2020. Now, who are Sage? Sage, they are a scientific advisory group for emergencies. They provide scientific and technical advice to support government decision makers during emergencies. Now, this is an interesting piece of document. I came across this through Peter Hitchens, who is an investigative journalist. Very few investigative journalists seems to be left in this country, as these journalists don't investigate and they're all talking the same thing. No one's talking any differently. So be aware of that media. Be all these media outlets. You've got to go to the internet to get the truth. These media outlets are just puppets, basically puppets. But go into this document, and it's quite clear that the government has wanted to panic the civilization. So reading into this Sage document on March 22nd, it goes into say, government experts said a substantial amount of people still do not feel sufficiently and personally threatened. Let me just read that again. Government experts said a substantial amount of people still do not feel significantly and personally threatened. Going into this document, persuasion, paragraph 2, increasing social distance measures. It says the perceived level of personal threat needs to be increased amongst those who are complacent, using hard-hitting emotional messages. to be effective, this must also empower people by making clear the actions they can take to reduce the threat. Now, following this message, following that piece of advice was given from Sage, they shut down the economy and instructed and introduced obviously mass house arrests, and it's all based on fear. All based on fear. So clearly psychologists have been working on this and been working on keeping us in fear basically. This is, I would say, not great, but I got to admit, when they were giving the fear every single day, pounding us with it, I did kind of had an inkling there's psychologists working here, because it's like, it's just too much, and when you looked at the threat and you analyze it, if it were, hold on, the WHO made took the threat level down to took it down to below the flu. The UK government also took it down, the threat level to down below the flu, and the CDC also took it down below flu. So when you look at all these things, it's like, well, it doesn't make sense. Why are they continuing? And the deaths have come completely down. If you notice on the news, they hardly speak about deaths now. So they, in their heads, they're thinking, God, we've got to keep this going. We've got to keep this going. So, okay, we're going to cases. Now, from cases, you can make up any number. Say, okay, there's cases racing in Leicester. There's cases racing in Nottingham. There's cases racing in wherever, London. You could manipulate the numbers very, very easily. And for us, the people, we've got to. I think that I think for a lot of people, enough is enough. But there's still a lot of people sleepwalking. But what we've got to remember, it's about the children. And do we want our children to be brought up in this fear and anxiety and wearing masks and people looking like Silence of the Lamb? It's not normal. It's not natural. It is not normal. And for me personally, with this mask thing, no, it's not normal. So we need to look into this. People need to do their own research, because for me to just tell you, it's no good. Yeah, you guys have got to do your research and look at this. Yeah, look at this and then analyze it. Do your own critical thinking, because there seems to not be that many people thinking or using critical thinking. What's going on? The media, that's gone way out of their heads. So they're all working together. The media, these government agencies, the civil service behind them, big pharma, because big pharma puts a lot of money into these government agencies. So guys, wake up, do your research. But going back to this quote, it's a fantastic and a phenomenal quote. So guys, you might have to listen to this video again and again and again. But hey, we are beautiful beings, and we're born, and we're spiritual beings, and we're supposed to be free. We're not supposed to be in prison. We are free moving spirits. So we want our freedoms back, and we want the government to be working for us, not the deep state, not these pharmaceutical companies, but working for us. So we need to shout this out loud and clear to the government. So guys, on that note, take care, stay blessed, and I'll catch you next week.